Hey there, it's William. Today we're going to find out why an electric GE dryer isn't heating. This problem can be caused by a few different things like a blown thermostat, a faulty heating element, or just some incorrect settings. Let's work together to find out what's going wrong so we can fix it. Before we get started, hit those like and subscribe buttons if you want to join our do-it-yourself repair community and get notified each time we post a new video guide. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. First, we'll need to get our tools together. Today, we'll need a multimeter, a Torx 20 driver, a 1/4 inch driver, and a Phillips screwdriver. And please remember that safety comes first. We'll be checking live voltage during this test, so please remember to be very careful here. Always take extreme care when checking live voltage so you can protect yourself from electric shock, which has the potential to cause serious injuries. Please don't ever test live voltage if you're uncomfortable using a multimeter. Before we really dig in, we're going to grab our multimeter and check to make sure we have 240 volts AC at the terminal block of our dryer.
The terminal block is at the bottom of the back of the dryer and might have a cover that needs to be removed to access it.
If you get less than that, there may be a problem with the outlet, which will need to be checked by a licensed electrician. Once we have good voltage,
now we can disconnect the dryer by unplugging it or switching the breaker off.
Now we're going to use our Torx 20 driver to remove the mounting screws along the top of the console and rotate the console forward. Once we've accessed the timer, we're going to set the timer to a time cycle and remove the orange wire. Let's grab our meter again and set it to continuity, which looks like a sideways Wi-Fi symbol, and test the timer from terminal B to terminal A. If there's no continuity here, then the timer is going to have to be replaced. If you do get continuity, like we are here, then that means your timer is good and we'll need to continue troubleshooting. Since our timer was good, we're going to move on to test the temperature selector. On this specific model, the temperature selector can be used to test not just the selector, but also the thermostats. We need to set the selector to cotton or high heat, then remove the orange wire at terminal 16 and the blue wire at terminal 8. Now we can use our meter probes to test from the orange wire at terminal 15 to empty terminal 16. There should be continuity here, so your meter will probably beep. You shouldn't be getting continuity at any other terminal at this point. If you have continuity from terminal 15 to 16, then we can set the selector to delicates or low heat. Now we can test from terminal 6 to the yellow wire at terminal 7. If there's continuity here, that means the selector switch is good. And guess what? I know a shortcut to test all the thermostats using just the wires right here.
First, reconnect the wires at terminal 16 and 8.
If we look at our wiring diagram, we can follow the orange wire at terminal 16 to see that it should measure 9 k ohms of resistance when it's tested to the brown wire with a white stripe and then to the blue wire. But I'm still going to show you how you can test each thermostat directly in case you prefer to do it that way. To test the safety thermostat, we're going to set the console back and secure it with the Torx 20 screws. Then we need to use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws at the top of the front panel, just behind the door. Now we're going to lift the top panel up just a bit so we can clear the console legs and pull it forward. We're going to remove the Phillips screws that are found at each back corner of the front panel. Once we've done that, we can lift the front panel up, rotate it to the side, and disconnect the door switch wires. Then we can set the front panel to the side. With that moved out of the way, we're going to reach under our drum, and we're going to disconnect the belt from the belt pulley. Once that is disconnected, we're going to go ahead and lift up on the belt and use it to assist in pulling the drum forward and out. Now we can set that to the side as well. With that out of the way, we can see the safety thermostat on the top of the element housing on the far left. We're going to remove one wire and set our multimeter to continuity, which looks like a sideways Wi-Fi symbol. Let's use the meter probes to test the thermostat for continuity. If there's no continuity, then the safety thermostat has failed and will need to be replaced. If there is continuity, our thermostat is good and we'll need to continue troubleshooting. The inlet thermostat is next to the safety thermostat, second from the left, and we're also going to test this for continuity.
First, remove the leftmost wire and the outer center wire. Then place one probe on each.
If you don't get continuity here, then the inlet thermostat has failed and will need to be replaced. If there is continuity, that means the thermostat is good and we'll need to continue troubleshooting.
Next up is the heating element, which also needs to be tested for continuity. You should see 3 terminals near the bottom of the element. We need to place one probe on the right terminal with the purple wire, then the other probe on the left terminal with the blue wire. If we get continuity here, keep the probe on the right terminal and test to the other terminal on the left with the yellow wire. If you get continuity,
let's continue troubleshooting. Our next stop is the outlet thermostat, which is located on the blower housing. We need to set our meter to continuity to test thermostat.
Then remove the white wire from the thermostat. These can be on tight, so you might need to use a screwdriver or pliers to get them off. With the wire off, test from the empty terminal to the terminal on the opposite side with the 2 orange wires running to it.
If there's not continuity like we see here on this dryer, then the outlet thermostat has failed and will need to be replaced. If you made it this far and still haven't found the problem during all previous testing, then the motor is going to be the culprit. Even though we can say this by using the process of elimination, let's double check to make sure the motor is the cause of failure.
First, we need to disconnect the wire harness. With the meter set to continuity, we can test from the bottom terminal to the second to bottom terminal.
We need to set our meter probes in place and then pull the centrifugal plate to activate the switch contacts. If there's no continuity here, then the motor has failed and needs to be replaced. On this specific dryer, you might remember that we found out that the outlet thermostat was bad. If your dryer happened to have the same problem, let's walk through how to replace it.
First, remove the single Phillips head screw. Then, take the wires off, making note of where they go so you can put them back on the right terminals.
Here's the old outlet thermostat and here's the new one. If you've already got one, great. If not, you can pick one up at appliancepartspros.com.
Now we can mount the new thermostat and secure it with the Phillips head screw.
We also need to install the wires. Once the new thermostat is installed, we can put the dryer back together. Let's double check to make sure the wires are all attached to the correct positions. When that's all set, we're going to install the drum and belt.
This can be a little difficult, so make sure to get the belt firmly on the motor pulley.
Then grab the front panel. We're going to connect the door switch wires and then set the front panel onto the dryer. We need to secure it with the screws we removed earlier. Now we're going to slide the top panel on the console legs, rotate the top panel down, and then secure it with the long Phillips screws we removed from behind the door. Don't forget to plug the dryer back in or flip the circuit breaker back on. You made it! Great job! And we hope this video helped you find out what went wrong with your dryer. Once you found the faulty part, whether it's a new outlet thermostat or something else that you might need, grab your model number and head over to appliancepartspros.com to order a replacement, which should arrive in just a few days. After you get your new part, we'll walk you through the installation with our video guides. Make sure to share your repair experience with us by leaving a comment below. And if this video helped you, hit the like and subscribe buttons to see more videos like this. Thanks for your support.